to my channel. How are your students? Hi, this is your favorite sir, MG Amin sir. So, here today we are learning about chapter number 8, the natural resources. Let's begin with the introductions. So, you all know that needs of humans are very unlimited. Needs of human are unlimited and we have a resources that are limited. So, here we are talking about the resources and all. So how we complete our needs and how we use our resources, what are the resources, which type of resources we are going to use. These are all the terms we are learning here. So in on the earth we have thousands of elements, but not all of them resources. So exactly what are the resources? Resources that when men use this element with the special knowledge and expertise. So what is the resources according to its definition is resources are that element when we used with our special knowledge and our expertise. In other words, things on which man is dependent, needs can be fulfilled. Man has a physical and intellectual capacity to use them. When we need something, we use them. But for an example, I am right now using my laptop. This is my resource for the recording my videos. And the same thing, mobile phone, which are not right, I am using, which is not right now I am using. So this is not resources for a while only. But after that, I am using not laptop, but using mobile phone. So at that time, my laptop is not my resources, but mobile phone is my resources. So when we used the things with our intellectual elements, which our intellectual capacity and our physical capacity. So these all are resources. In ancient time, man did not know about the resources buried in the land. So no resources. If we talk about the Stone Age and the Copper Age, if we talk about the Stone Age, there were no resources because they don't know that resources are hide under the land, buried in the land. So they are not known about that resources. So they have not resources. But as the days gone on, years passed on, they slowly found about the some copper and then iron, then they got about the gold. So as and when we got some technologies and some digging methods, we got some resources. So what are the uses of resources? As for the some terms, resources are divided into three ways: resources as a food, resources as a raw material, and resources as a source energy. So here, as a resources of food, fruits, crops, milk, meat, these all are the resources as a food. Second, resources as a raw material, forest, agro products, agriculture products, wool, hides, meats, minerals, these all are the raw material. Resources as a source energy, coal, gas, petroleum, natural gas, these are the resources for to getting any energy. So basis of a ownership, basis of a reavailability and basis of distributions, we have different type of resources. So if we talk about the individual resources, if we talk about the national resources, and if we talk about the global resources, we have a different examples are here. So what is the individual resources exactly? It's owned by an individual or a family, that is land or building. The where you are living, the where your building is straight, that is our land and building. And if we talk about the national resources, it's our army, international trade. And if we talk about the global resources, that resources are common ownership for all of the nation in the world. And if we talk about the distribution area, we have a universal resources, generally available resources, rare resources, and solitary resources. These two examples are more important as far as our examination is concerned. So make a note of this table and try to explore it more. Most resources classified into two broad categories, that is renewable resources and non-renewable resources. We all know these two things. Renewable resources. Some resources are reproduce themselves as per their usage during the specific time. These are inexhaustible, solar, winds, birds, animal. So these resources are regenerated as the day is gone. So, solar is generated, winds are generated, birds are regenerated, animals are regenerated, and non-renewable resources, mineral, coal, natural gas, petroleum, these takes a longer time to recreate. That's why we consider as a non-renewable resources. So if we talk about the planning and the conservation of resources, it's same thing. Human needs are unlimited, but we have a limited resources. From the last 100 years, we use extraordinary development plus populations, and that's why the uses of the resources has increased. If we talk about the last some years, we do not have a internet, we do not have 5G technology, we do not have 4G technology, we do not have smartphones, so we do not have a cars and in limited ways, not at all homes. So but as the days gone on, we are using the cars and bikes and lots of technologies. We have to find more and more resources. If we talk about the about some out year of a 2000, there are limited cars and limited bikes, and that's why petrol costing is 35 rupees. About 25 or 35 rupees are there. But right now, the as the cars and bike increased, we need a more and more petrol, we need more and more gas. That's why it's increased uses of resources. Severe implication will have to experience if a serious throw is not given to this matter. If we do not look in this matter, we have to face it in serious way. So what is exactly conservation of resources? Is the scarcity of resources. Now we are scared. What happened if these resources got finished? Now, in some ways, after some years, if we do not find a petrol, we have to find a different method. Right now, we are using electric bikes for the just why? Because we have a scarcity that in a near future there may be a increase in the petrol rates, or there may be uh, loss of a petrols. If the resources are exploited at the current rate, they will exploit it haphazardly, unobviously, and irrationally, and impossible to maintain today's level. If we continue exploited this thing with the current rate, we are using a petrol on the highway in a higher rates, and with a mobile phone with so many uses. So if it continues, we cannot maintain today's life after some times. This includes rational uses, its conservation, and its reuses. Gather information about the availability of utilities. So what we do if we need to conserve these resources. We have, first of all, we need to gather information about the availability of utilized, unutilized, and probable resources. So we have to gather information about the how many resources we have right now, and in which quantity, how many of them is utilized and how many is unutilized. Second, we can use non-renewable resources whenever we need. Attempts should be made to develop those resources, the quantity of which can be increased. So we need to use that type of technology that can be increased in the future. So we have to use the solar technology, or we have to use solar technology for the generate electricity. Cheaper and easily available resources should not be waste. The resources that we get very easily, we do not have to waste it. Who knows? In the future, we will use the same thing. Use that resources very smartly so that it can be stored and reuse it in the future. So use all the resources very smartly. So if we keep it for the future, we need to keep it for the our future use. Limited resources should be conserved for the future use. Necessary laws should be formed against of a limited resources and should be enforced strictly. We need to make a laws for using some that resources we have limited way. Citizens should be acquainted with all fact rational uses of a resources. And a citizen should be acquainted with all facts of rational uses of resources. And public awareness should be cultivated. We need to cultivate public awareness. So we need to aware the public. So we have a limited resources and all. Next, we are using a soil formation. How the soil formations? So this soil is also resources for us. We are growing the plants and we are growing the trees and where we are right now living. So that's also on soil. So what is the exactly definition of soil? The part of the earth where the vegetation grows, known as the soil. So when we are growing the plants and the vegetations, that's a part of the earth and that's part of the earth called is soil. The soil is within a layer composed of a various elements. So soil has a thin layer of a composed of various elements. In the soil, there are so many elements available. Minerals, humidity, hums and R's mixed up in it. So in the soil, there are minerals, there are humidity, there are hums and there are air also available in the soil. Parental rock lie below the soil and the bigger rocks that we use, the metal rocks are also below the soil. Soil is formed due to the material available through the degradations or eroding of a washing soil. We got the soil from the degradations. Biotic remnant, humidity and air get mixed up with it. In the land, there are biotic remnant means that animals are there, humidity were there, is there, and air get mixed up with it. In the land, in the soil, there is a air also. So what is exactly soil? Soil is mixture of minerals plus biotic element and have a capacity to grow to develop vegetations. So here are today's video and we have learned the resources and about the bit information about the soil. So we will continue our this video from tomorrow and be subscribed, continue watching, and we will come back with this new technology with the new contents. And thank you very much, all of you.